Welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Kush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. All right, everybody, welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I'm Dr. Kush. We are here continuing our quest to find what exactly Summer of Punch means. We are examining, we're thinking, we're taking a looking glass. We are expanding that looking glass till eventually we see exactly what's going on. We are doing another version of the Planter's Punch. We have done a Planter's Punch already, but because I feel like we should put this into the full realm of tiki, as we did, we didn't build a dark mahogany leather bar back here. We did build a tiki bar. To be honest, we should examine what this means in the tiki realm. And thus, I think it's important that we look and see what the Tiki Boys were doing with this very, very famous cocktail, the Planter's Punch. Now, which version of this Planter's Punch we're going to be doing? Well, it's in the description, obviously. But we're going to do the version of this cocktail created by a guy named Donn Beach, Ernest Raymond Beaumont Gantt. We're going to be doing his version of this cocktail. Even though he had 5 versions, apparently, we're only doing one of them because this one sticks closest to the original recipe. But we can start to see now how the punch started as one thing, sort of across the world, and became an entirely different thing, culminating in things like slings, rum rhapsodies, tiki drinks, etc., etc., etc. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to be making a great version of the punch called Planters, created by a guy named Donn, the Beachcomber. Let me say hello to the people. Let me say hello. First of all, I just started checking some of my messages, and I got a great message from Stephanie Husband. Stephanie, I will complete your request the moment after the show ends. I have been trying to stay off of that social media. I know that I'm trying to be a social media bartender, but I did not. I'm bad at this. It turns out, put on a show, everything else I need somebody for. Let me say hello to our good friend Bon Bon. Bon Bon is here. I think Bon Bon had earlier messages. Couldn't see them. I can't see them now, at least. Bon Bon, hope everything's okay. Hopefully you weren't calling for help. I was unable to get to those messages, but hopefully you're doing well. Let me say hello to our good friend. Good evening, Shawnee Panda Baker is here and ready to go. Let's see who else we got. We got a lot of me. This is me talking. Let's restream my own talking. Scotty Du Bois is here. Very excited about a Planter's Punch. Love that. Kyle is asking for one of these. And we will oblige. Absolutely. Amy Beard joined me in the VIP earlier today. If you get a chance, usually about 5 minutes before the show starts, you can tune into the VIP, watch me mumble to myself for a little bit. Having a nose issue or two, I guess. And, hang out. Scotty Du Bois. Oh, yes, that's right. Scotty Du Bois was in there for a minute. Good to see everybody. Bon Bon is drinking some kombucha today with Scobie-Wan Kenobi. Love that. Let me say hello to Moose. All right, good. Let me just real quick. I have a little business to take care of. Richie the Whiff is here. Richie the Whiff. It has happened. We are now the proud owners of a bottle of Chinola passion fruit liqueur. Richie the Whiff owns the bottle of Passoa passion fruit liqueur. Richie the Whiff, I'm offering you again. I am offering you a chance to switch from Chinola to Passoa. Sorry, the other way around. From Passoa to Chinola. Richie the Whiff, you do not have to take this. I just figured I would offer that to you. We finally found our bottle of Chinola, and we do have some fun passion fruit cocktails coming up in the near future. So You just let me know which one I should use. Here's Polybellinardo. Wow, he gives us. Let me say hello to Dougie G. Dougie G in the place to be, ready to make a planteer's punch. Doug, how much money to be my bartender? My goodness, that's we're renting out bartenders through this service now. That's a great idea. Street PI, hello Street PI. Street PI, Lulu says hi. She's heading to hula. Love a hula lady. She gone with the hula boys. You know who I brought to the dance. That's true. Richie the Whiff. I know who you brought to the dance. I know who you brought to the dance. All right, Pessoa will stay. Pessoa will stay. It just gets funnier every time. Okay. Let's talk about the Planter's Punch. But before that, let's talk about Donn and his travels. Donn Beach. Oh, my goodness. How many times we start classes off by just saying Donn Beach? Well, Donn Beach was important. If we're tuning into a tiki bar that talks about the history of cocktails, we're going to have to hear those words, Donn Beach, every once in a while. Donn Beach, born, we think, in Texas, lived in Louisiana, we think, for a little while, started making his way down to Jamaica from Louisiana, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, whilst in the place known as Jamaica, he came across a drink called the Planter's Punch. Fell in love. Obviously fell in love. Now, if we're to believe what Donn Beach is saying, he fell in love with this cocktail when he was about 4 years old, maybe 7 years old. Too early to be drinking Planter's Punches, I think, but I don't own any 4 to 7 year olds, so I don't know what they eat or drink. I understand macaroni and cheese is a big thing, some sort of breakfast cereal, and I think they exist mainly on that. Anyway. I fell in love with that. And so when he began his bar, he took this basic principle and he called his drink the Planter's Punch after this great cocktail. So he started making these drinks that took the principle of 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, 4 of wing, a little spice, make it all nice. And from there, he was able to explode this cocktail out. Now, on his menus over the years, a guy named Jeff Berry found upwards of 5 different versions of the Planter's Punch. 5 different versions. Some of them included a lot of juice. Some of them included almost no juice. Some of them couldn't even be recognized as a Planter's Punch. It doesn't matter. He called them Planter's Punches, and that's what we're going to call them. We're not going to dead name any of these drinks. He called them Planter's Punches. That's what they were. So, in the end, Donn started to take this formula and fidget around a little bit. Tried to change a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, and now he's got a whole new drink called the same thing because that what a tropical name, the Planter's Punch. But in the end, it's his drink, his formula. What's great about this version that we're about to do is it does basically follow the original 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, 4 of weak, and a little spice to make it all nice. It is a great example of what my upcoming seminar at Tiki Oasis is going to be about. Taking a formula like the Planter's Punch, substituting things in and out, and finding brand new drinks. So if you don't have something, then substitute something else in. That's the idea. So that's what we're doing. We're making Donn Beach's Planter's Punch. Donn, instead of just using regular old sugar, well, he added all kinds of fun stuff. Instead of just using 1 rum, we know Donn. 3 rums. We're doing 3 rums in here. So let's get into this cocktail, a spectacular cocktail. Now, the one thing that I do think is interesting, odd, weird, strange, out there, I think the fact that he is blending this one is odd. But mine, as my father used to say, mine is not to question why. Mine is just to do or die. Now, I technically think that's a threat, and I probably should sue my father. So, Glenn, if you're watching, lawsuit's coming your way, pal. You got a lawsuit on the way. 1 of sour. 1 of sour. That's great. You know why? Because we have 1 sour fruit right here. This is our friend, the incredible edible lime. I got this fun thing. This is a, I don't know why this is necessary. I don't know why anybody thought of this. This is a foldable cutting board. Folds. Why do I need that? I suppose I don't. We're going to use it anyway. Go ahead and grab your lime. Take all stickers off your lime. We're going to go ahead and slice down this way, right here. We're going to cut right here. We only need 1/2 ounce. So technically, I think we can get away with 2 of these. We're going to do 3 anyway. So grab your limes. Nice big squeeze. And because we're not shaking this one, we're not dropping our limes in here. We are blending this one, and we don't want little pieces of lime getting everywhere. Richie the Whiff asks, but where is Lisa Watanabe's memorial cutting board? I do not know. I do not know. That is quite a reference. Has anybody else recognized that reference at all? The Lisa Watanabe memorial cutting board? I think Rich has been here for a long time. Go ahead and squeeze this. There we go. Got about 1/2 ounce there of some lime juice. Standard. That's standard issue. 1 of sour. All right? Standard issue, 1 of sour. We're doing great here. We haven't gone way past what the original drink calls for. We're hitting it just where it needs to. Now, to stay standard for right now, let's reach back behind me and grab some simple syrup. There it is. Now, Jeff, or my friend Jeff, my buddy Jeff, Jeff, Beach Bum Berry, he calls for, what he called for, I think, sugar syrup. That's what he called for. When you see sugar syrup, I usually, not always, just usually, I usually assume that means 2 to 1. Why do I think that? Because that's not simple. I feel like that's not simple. I feel like 1 to 1, that's simple. 1, if you look at this one, you look at this one, those are the same thing. I can tell that. I'm a moron and I can tell that. Those are the same thing. 2 to 1, oh, those are different. So when I see sugar syrup, I usually think 2 to 1. That's not always the case, though. Can we get deeper into the minutia, please? Can we just dig our little hole down minutia lane? Don't worry too much about it. Put the sugar syrup that you want in there. I use simple syrup 1 to 1. If you want to do 2 to 1 simple syrup, hey, okay, good for you. If you want to be like my good friend Frank, where'd Frank go? Frank. Oh, if you want to be like my good friend Frank, the low carb cocktail guy, you can use some allulose. I don't think I said that right. You can use something. You can use a sugar substitute syrup. Be just fine with this one. Frank, tell me what I did wrong. Okay, 1/2 ounce of some simple syrup, okay? Just trust me, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Now, technically, and we love technicalities here, technically, that is 1 of sour, 1 of sweet. What we've just done is 1 of sour, 1 of sweet, but that doesn't rhyme. Doesn't work in the rhyme. We need 1 of sour, 2 of sweet. So we're going to fill up that next 1 of sweet with fun flavors. Flavors that Donn liked. Put that way. Flavors that Donn liked. We're going to start by reaching back down here. I could make this show a lot quicker if I did everything in one trip. When I was picking up one thing, brought up another thing, but I don't think that's the point. I don't know what the point is yet, but I don't think that's the point. We're gonna go ahead and put in about 1/4 ounce of some of this guy. Now, what is that guy? Exactly. That is our friend grenadine. Never have I been in more trouble than when I talk about grenadine. People, allulose is correct. Whew. Look at that. Allulose is correct. I think that the low carb cocktail guy has a version of this stuff too. What do we call this? Grenadine? I think he has a version of this that is low carbs, or maybe no carbs. I don't know how carbs work. Anyway, Never have I been in more trouble than when I talk about grenadine. Usually the people that make other types of grenadine get very upset with me. You know why? Because this guy has defeated grenadine. I beat it. Grenadine had a grip on me, and now it no longer does. I am grenadine free. I make my own grenadine. I am off of the map. I'm off the grid with grenadine. I don't need big grenadine coming into my house, tell me how to run my life, raise my kids. I don't have kids. Tell me that I need to have kids. I don't need grenadine doing any of that stuff. I make my own grenadine. Equal parts sugar and pomegranate. Easy. We need a 1/4 ounce of some grenadine. There we go. That's a nice tropical flavor. Where do pomegranates grow? California. They grow in California. I do know that. You know where else they grow? I know this for a fact. They grow in a little place called Granada, Spain. I lived in Granada, Spain. And you know what? It's named after the pomegranate. In Spain, granadas it's the same thing as saying a grenade. They look like when the pomegranates grow, they look like little grenades. So they call them the same thing. I don't know which came first. I'm gonna say that the pomegranates came first, and then they named the grenades after the pomegranates because of the seeds inside. That if one of those things blew up, that's the shrapnel. Never thought about it until this moment right now. Yes. Put this away. Yes. We're going to be putting in a 3rd sweetener, but just enough to make it so that we have 1 of sour and 2 of sweet. This right here is another tiki favorite, velvet falernum. I read a blog today and it made me very concerned that we are doing the wrong thing. It said, and I quote, I don't quote, it said something very similar to what I'm about to say. It said, if you've never tried falernum before, the best kind is Fee Brothers. Fee Brothers falernum. That's what this person said. I never had it. I don't know anything about Fee Brothers falernum. I myself have not ever even thought about Fee Brothers falernum. You know why? Because we are a velvet fan here. We are a John D. Taylor. Let's give John D. Taylor his respect and fix that camera so it's nice and flat. There we go. Let's win our awards. We are a John D. Taylor's family here. This is John D. Taylor's velvet falernum. Now, I have not yet left the grips of big falernum. Hopefully one day I will. Hopefully one day I find a very simple, very delicious, in an afternoon, lasts me for a long time type of recipe for falernum. I have not found that recipe, so we will continue to be under the thumb of big falernum for today. Go ahead and find some velvet falernum or any kind of falernum you want to, homemade maybe. Good for you guys. 1/4 ounce of some velvet falernum. There we go. All right. 1 of sour. Lime. 2 of sweet. Feeling good. Oh, this doesn't go there. This goes here. Let's see. Amy Beers has Fee Bros. Amy Beer has Fee Brothers falernum. Amy, we need a review, please. As quickly as you can. That'd be great. Let me say hello real quick. We've suddenly been flooded by names from the past. We got Godzilla the Hun, the most rational human being to have ever lived. We also have right here Bootopia. Good evening, all. A couple people that have not been around or been a little bit in and out, but it's good to have you guys both back. I think you guys are around. I think you guys know that you're part of the Big 30. Congratulations on that. Pretty important part. There we go. Okay. Now, we have 1 of sour. We got 2 of sweet. We need 3 of strong. Okay, what are we going to do for strong? Well, instead of putting in 3 whole ounces of rum, we're going to be putting in 3 rums. 3 different rums. That seems crazy to me, but it doesn't seem crazy to Donn. Donn loved a mixing rum. I can speculate all day. That's what we do on the show. You guys sit there doing whatever you're doing, maybe playing solitaire, whilst you're just listening to me drone on. But what this droning really is it's speculation. I'm just speculating, just postulating ideas. I have a feeling that Donn was trying to get rid of as much rum as he possibly could, and so he would mix a lot so that he wouldn't just run out of some rum at the same time. That's how he came up with those rhapsodies at first, and then eventually he said, "Ooh, this mixing rum is nice." Ooh, he said, "Ooh," but we'll never know. Let's start over here with winners of the 2024 Kentucky Derby. This is their bottle right here, the husbands. This is Karuba. This is a dark Jamaican rum. Okay, 1 second. I don't mean to stop this show in the middle. Paul says pomegranate derives from the medieval Latin pom, apple, and granatum, seeded. Well, there we go. Paul has done it. He figured it out. It has nothing to do with anything I said. Strike that from the record. Well, I will say pomegranates do look like grenades. And I do think that grenades comes from granatas, which are pomegranates in Spain. I'm pretty sure that's true. I don't know. Anyway, this right here is our good friend Karuba. The store next to us ran out of Karuba recently. And thus, we've been very sparing with our Karuba. But it's important today that we need 3 types of rum. So we're putting in 1 very dark Jamaican rum in the form of Karuba. So we need half an ounce of some dark Jamaican rum, something like Karuba. Nailed it. All right, now we're cheating a little bit. Why are we cheating? Because we don't have any Appletons. This would be a great time to bring in some Appletons. This would be a very nice time to bring in some Appletons, but we don't have Appletons. Why do we not have Appletons? We're bringing in this instead. We're bringing in Myers rum. Now, it technically says dark rum. That is true. It's not as dark. It's not as dark as Karuba. So we're counting this as a gold rum. It is not a gold rum. We're counting it as a gold rum. Sometimes that's important. Sometimes it's better to have any drink than no drink at all, right? We need half an ounce of a gold Jamaican rum, something like Appleton's, not necessarily something like Myers. Doing great. Doing great. DCW Clark is here, the winner of the 2023 Kentucky Derby. Says, Paul, you're better than Google. I'm going to take a guess and say Paul and Google teamed up on this one. I'm going to say Paul and Google had a little wink and a nod on this one. Maybe Paul knew that. Maybe not. The family is together and we're watching. Cheers. That is great. Let me say I got your card today to all 4 of the A's, Alex and Arch and Avalon and the other one, the other A. I got your card today. Thank you all so much. That was lovely. Made my little day. It extended my birthday until today. I like that. Amanda's the other one, of course. Let's keep going. We need 1 more rum. It calls for a Virgin Island rum. Which Virgin Island? Doesn't count. Doesn't call for it. So we're going to reach back here and just see if we can find a rum from a Virgin Island. Oh, look at this. Wow. I found one. Yes. Technically not from a Virgin Island. Technically from the Dominican Republic. But is anybody Paul? Sorry, Google or Paul? Who can answer this first? Google or Paul? Is the Dominican Republic in the Virgin Islands? I don't think it is. What we're looking for here more than anything is an aged rum. Find something that has a little age to it. This Kiss rum, Detroit Rock rum, this is an aged rum. How much of this do we need? We need 1 full ounce. So get yourself 1 full ounce of an aged rum and throw it in to your mixture. Doing the thing. Oh, Richie the Whip, his bottle got pushed back. We'll bring it back up, Rich. Rich, who has decided that despite the fact that I have offered him the beautiful new bottle of Chinola passion fruit liqueur, he is sticking with Pessoa. Paul says no, but what does Google say? We don't know. No, DR is its own island next to Puerto Rico. Great. Well, here we are. We're learning all kinds of stuff today. I did not promise you anything about geography. When we're talking about putting one liquid into another liquid, or maybe other liquids, I'm good. Beyond that, don't have any idea. Okay. We, of course, need to add a little bit of spice to make it all nice. This right here, this bottle that says Sam and Dave, is not Sam and Dave liqueur. No. This is Angostura bitters, recently refilled by yours truly. To have a bunch of Angostura bitters in here, go ahead and drop in about 3 dashes of some Angostura bitters. Smells great. Smells a touch more complex than the Planters Punch that we have made before, the Steven Remsburg one. This one smells a little bit more complex. It smells very interesting. We're digging it. This is where it gets weird. I'm going to say this right now. It gets weird. But we do need 4 of weak. And technically, if we put in a lot of ice, we are getting a weaker drink. And thus, we are fulfilling our own little destiny. Now go ahead and throw in some crushy ice. I think there was an exact amount that it called for, and I think it was 6 ounces. Now, I think this might be a touch more than 6 ounces. But I do think 6 ounces of ice is what we call for. Uh-oh. Oh, I see it. Good. And we're bringing out the drink master. Bung, bung, bung. For some reason, the entire GoPro community has shut down. It will no longer let me access my webcam, so we do not have access to Blender Cam today. So you'll have to just remember fondly a time in the past that we used Blender Cam. Maybe if we put a little bit of a little filter on it so it looks like we're looking through lace, and we just maybe sing that song that Sarah McLachlan sings about puppies while we're doing this. Think about another time that you watched Blender Cam go, because we don't have it today. Sorry, Street PI is bummed about the no Blender Cam. I'm very sorry. I know that is a reason that a lot of people do turn in. I know that a lot of people are just fans of Blender Cam, not necessarily this show. And I'm sorry, but you're going to have to blame GoPro on that one because they really screwed this one. Go ahead and throw this right in here. Oh, that seems low. And give that a spin. Calls for no more than 5 seconds. Anybody counting? We got way more than 5 seconds. We've started a GoFundMe over here. 70 Husband started a Remember Blender Cam. Yeah, one day. In the arms of an angel. In the arms of an angel. In the arms of an angel. Angel's arms. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pour this guy right into here with all that ice that we just blended up. Oh my gosh. Did we get a good wash line? Oh, we're just a touch over. Right to the top, though. Not much that left in there. Look at that. Oof. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are looking solid. This right here, my friends. Let me say hello to the UF Mark. The UF Mark, of course. Oh, the UF Mark, of course, is our resident gator, which is why, of course, he has a strong connection to all 4-legged beasts, like dogs with one eye. This right here is not just any old Planters Punch. Heck no, it's not. This right here is Donn Beach's Planters Punch. One of Donn Beach's Planters Punch. He has lots of Donn Beach Planters, but there's just lots of them running around. It's more of an idea. It's like saying this is a comedy, versus saying this is specifically the odd couple. What a reference! What a reference I just made there. There's a grouping of cocktails called the Planter's Punch. This right here is what we got. Okay, Paul says the term grenade comes from Latin granatus, literally filled with grain. I just want to say real quick, I don't think that applies. I think there's an old saying that I like to think of often. Intelligence is saying that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting tomato in a fruit salad, right? Yes, of course, granatus comes from filled with grain. I just think that granadas, pomegranates, look like grenades. And I have to say, I'm standing by this one. This is my wisdom kicking in. Now that I know that, I just know that grenades are not filled with grain. Otherwise, war would be hilarious and cute. And war is deadly and what's the opposite of cute? Horrific. So, whilst I agree with Bonbon, Paul, that is interesting. I still believe that pomegranates, or that grenades are called pomegranates. What? That grenades are called grenades because pomegranates are called granadas. I'm not stubborn. I'll change my mind. If somebody else wants to send me another art, I'll change. I'll look into it. Jeez Louise, now where are we at? Okay, quite a lot to learn today. All right, let's get one of our teeny little straws here. We're gonna throw this in. Okay, well now, yes, Kutopia is now saying maybe grains of gunpowder. Maybe. Listen, we're gonna get to the gosh darn bottom of this. We're gonna finish the summer of punch, and we're gonna have a full autumn of grenades. So if this is what you guys want, we're gonna do one full grenade autumn, and it's gonna get weird. Get ready for it. Grenade autumn. All right. All right, there we go. That's the drink we want. That's a bit of the spent lime. Don't worry about getting a whole new lime for this. The lime in here is perfect the way it is. Oftentimes, when you hand somebody a lime, they're just going to squeeze it in there. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to our good friend Donn. Cheers to all of you. Cheers to grenades, not the deadly ones, the ones that are filled with grain and hilarious. Cheers. Oh, yes. It is delicious. It is interesting. It has all kinds of big, fun flavors. I like the rum, even though we didn't have Appletons today. I think the Karuba does a really good job of bringing all of these other rums right along with it. Karuba is a stellar rum. Listen, I think Kiss is a stellar rum. I think Kiss, the Detroit Rock, I have not been paid from them for a while. All right, I still like it, and I think that Myers is a workhorse. Myers is just a workhorse rum. If you need a rum that wants to do some work, that's a great rum. This right here, great drink, love it, perfect, no notes, well done. Godzilla the Hun says another rousing success. I dig it. Yummy. Now try with bourbon. What? Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's try it with bourbon. I think that you know what? Maybe we will do a Planter's Punch with bourbon. Let's see how that works. We have some fun classes coming up here soon. I've been doing a bunch of research recently. I've been locking myself in the bar just to do research on all kinds of stuff. Kyle is suggesting that maybe we fill our grenades with puppies. Maybe we will. The word grenade probably derives from the French word for pomegranates because the bulbous shape of the early grenades resembled that fruit. I don't want to accuse Paul of anything, but Paul, I've never heard you talk like that. So I do want to say I do think that that Paul and Google were high-fiving on this one too. I've had many I love my conversation with Paul. Every once in a while, I head to Paul's house, we sit, we have a drink, we hang out, it's great. Mexican food, sometimes paella, all kinds of good stuff with Paul. We watch other people do cocktails on the TV. I've never heard him say the word bulbous. I've never once heard Paul utter the word bulbous. So I'm going to say that might not be Paul. Blink twice. Okay. Done. Okay. That's what I got for you guys. The holy hand grenade of Antioch. You shall throw it not after 2. That would be too soon. 5 being right out. Okay. People are now thinking Paul might have been cybernapped. Somebody stopped Paul for the robots. Paul, get away. Where's Rich Whiffen? Rich, I need you to get to Paul's house. I need you right now to get rid of the robots. However you can do it. The robots are taking over Paul. Oh God, it's terrifying. Paul, get it together, pal. All right, you guys are the greatest. Thank you so much. We will be back here. Oh, gosh, we're going to be back here tomorrow. You know why? Because I do not think it is appropriate to ruin your 4th of July with a cocktail class. So we won't. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do it tomorrow instead. We're going to do a cocktail class tomorrow. We're going to do a big, fat, just American punch that you can bring to a 4th of July party. I think that'll be fun. That's what we're doing tomorrow. Hang out. We're not doing a class Thursday. We are doing a class Saturday. We have special classes Tuesday and Thursday next week. Oh my God, Paul has been taken over by Skynet. Oh God. Oh, this is getting horrible. Paul, come back to us, pal. Pollinator. Yes, bonus show. Technically not a bonus show. Because we won't be doing one on Thursday. Anyway, thank you guys. We've gone 40 minutes today on one drink. It's too much. It's just too much. I don't know what the bandwidth is on this, but too much. You guys are the greatest. How about we hang out some other day, like tomorrow? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And thank you for hanging out with me. Until next time, let's say what we always say, which is, look at this drink. Oh my gosh, look how cool that drink is. Right after that, we say bye-bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
I got 2 into the thing. I didn't run the credits. So the credits are coming right now. Everybody get ready for the credits. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and credits roll.
Welcome to the jungle! Yeah!
Wow. Wow.
Oh, shots fired!
I'm in danger!
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
That's all I am. Just a regular human bartender.
Wow.
Anyway, I started blasting.
Well, maybe. But that's not what we're talking about.
Sure, why not? I don't know. No!
I don't know what to do!
don't know in this country. We don't know.